Herbert Davis with MRA. And big announcement for the school in the state, in the metro area, as MRA football will be on ESPN2 August 28th against Oakland High School at 2 o'clock on a Saturday. Landing a big boy nationally televised game is always good. So we're excited about that. We hope to have Coach Davis on. John Cohen will join us at 7:35. The athletic director at MSU. I'm sure he'll give us the behind the scenes on Texas and Oklahoma. And then Bill Blackwell, Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame and Museum Executive Director, will join us at 8. All of these guests on the Modelo guest line. I guess it could be a Taco Thursday. It was a Taco Tuesday a couple days ago. And we've got the big Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony this weekend. Dave Randall, great tennis player from Ole Miss. Janet Marie Smith, nationally recognized architect. Camden Yards, Turner, among others, will be inducted into the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame and Museum this weekend. We want to welcome in the head football coach at MRA. He is Herbert Davis, and they've won back-to-back state championships, and they had a big announcement yesterday. They will play on ESPN2 August 28th. That's a Saturday at 2 o'clock, and they will play Oakland High School, who is the #1 football program in the state of Tennessee. So a lot of exciting things going on. Coach, good morning. How are you?
Man, I'm doing good. How you doing, Bo?
Man, I'm doing well. Congratulations on the big game. What a great way to showcase the school, MRA, and also Madison and your football program. I know y'all have to be excited about the announcement yesterday.
We're very excited, obviously, get a chance to do, like you said, showcase our team and our school, and man, we're really excited. At the same time, got a huge challenge in front of us, but you know that we're doing it to get better. So,
well, so y'all start practice this morning. I think it's 7:30. What's it like going from the hunter to the hunted after back-to-back state championships and all the success y'all have had the last 4 or 5 years, Coach?
Well, you know, new team this year. Just try to, you know, stay focused on doing the things that got us where we are, you know, and which is being detailed and, you know, intentional about everything we do, and you know, holding people accountable to get the job done, and you know, and still have fun with it. And so that's kind of how we built it in you know, in a short term, and so we just trying to continue to, you know, we got a little saying that says the standard is the standard, so we challenge our kids to keep the standard and also elevate it.
Well, Herbert Davis, head football coach for MRA, joining us on the Out of Bounds show. His team has got a heck of a non-conference schedule to go along with playing some big-time MAIS schools. They'll play Pulaski out of Arkansas. We all know about that program, right? The program that never punts, and then wins like 90% of their games. They're going to host they'll go there, by the way. That'll be Labor Day weekend, so they'll play several games prior to that. And the big news yesterday was August 28th, ESPN 2 game against Oakland High School, the #1 football program in the state of Tennessee, and Herbert Davis joining us on the Out of Bounds show. How did this summer go for your team? I know y'all did some 7-on-7 and worked out and so on. How did you think the summer went for MRA football?
We went to 2 really big time 7-on-7 tournaments there. Really fun, and a lot of really good teams there. We actually went to Pulaski Academy. They host the Shootout of the South. It's about I don't know, 6, 7, 8 states are there, from Texas, Oklahoma, you know, Arkansas, and so it's really pretty well run tournament. And then of course we went to Hoover late in the year, and then we played the one here in Jackson that we play in every year. So played 3 of those, and then of course we always play at least one with somebody during the week. So, you know, the deal, we're just kind of young this year in the secondary, and really, you know, new quarterback. So we really wanted to get a lot of reps to get those guys hopefully ready, and now we got to see if we can tackle somebody.
Coach Davis on the Out of Bounds show. He joins us on ESPN 105.9 The Zone. How does your quarterback room look going into this year?
Well, we're really excited about, our skilled guys on offense. We got most all of them coming back, and got some good young ones coming up. And so we're really excited about that. And we got some work to do on the offensive line. Lost 3 big guys. All three of our linemen had offers last year that we lost, and 3 guys that played that we lost in the secondary, all had offers. And one of them's actually walked on to Southern Miss. So
nice.
We're gonna miss those guys, and so the sooner we can grow those guys up, which you better be in a hurry. I think we have some good opportunities for those guys to be good players.
Okay.
We just got to get we got to get comfortable with what we're doing.
Sure. I think you're not, but 15 days away. You may not wanted to hear that, but 15 days away. I think August 13th, MRA will kick it off, start to get after it this season. And again, big news: ESPN2 game August 28th. So ESPN2 nationally televised game at MRA August 28th, Saturday, 2:00. They'll host Oakland High School, who's the #1 program in the state of Tennessee. All right, Coach, how about Stone Blanton? How's he doing as far as his rehab and recovery?
Stone's doing good. I think he's projected to be back the second week, or hopefully at least by the time we play Oakland.
Okay.
I hope he can get a few reps in against Natchez Cathedral. The week before we play Oakland, but we'll see what the doctor says.
Sure. Well, Coach, congratulations. I know we'll catch up during the year, and I know the MRA family is excited about having a game on ESPN2, and we appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you having me on the show.
Thanks, Coach. Herbert Davis on the Out of Bounds show. Herbert stopping by as they're starting practice here in 8 minutes, so we appreciate his time today. And how about that? ESPN2, as Blake was pointing out, that's a really cool deal. For anybody, but when you're 15, 16, 17 years old, and I think it's everybody in the school, I mean, once it gets closer, can you imagine being in like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, knowing that ESPN2 is coming to campus and your parents are going to take you to the game that night? And it's fun. And they've done a lot of work. Termy Land, head of school, and Richard Deweese and Ross Haley and the crew. And, I mean, they've done a lot of work on campus, and so they're excited. They'll host one of the ESPN family of networks, The Deuce. ESPN2 will be at MRA August 28th. And as Blake said, 10 years ago, that wouldn't happen, and that's a credit to Herbert Davis and Termy Land and Greg Self and Richard Deweese and Ross Haley and many, many, many others within the school. Teachers and administrators and so on. But Blake talked about when prep was on, C-Spire Friday Night Lights, and we did that. I mean, I broadcast from Clinton, and I broadcast from, I can't remember where else they sent Pearl, and I went to other schools on Friday mornings, and you could feel it with the student body coming on campus, the excitement. I mean, that's cool. And so this will be a big deal, and people will be able to see a Mississippi high school football program that's had a lot of success. They beat Deion Sanders' program last year. Yeah. They beat Briarcrest.
Is this the biggest game in MRA history? I know it's not for a title, but in terms of
outside of playing for a state championship, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know how big those MRA prep and MRAJ games and J prep games are. All right, live in the Bank Plus studio, John Cohen will join us at 7:35, the athletic director at MSU. And then Bill Blackwell, the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame and Museum executive director at 8 a.m. And Steve Palazzolo at 8:30 on DAC and NFL QBs. All of our guests join us on the Modelo guest line. Enjoy an ice-cold Modelo this afternoon. Please drink responsibly. We'll be back in a second.
In any industry, businesses come and go, but we've been here in the greater Jackson and Vicksburg areas for almost 25 years. We couldn't do that without a dedicated, friendly staff and without loyal customers. Customers who trust us. It's really not that complicated. We take good care of our employees and we take great care of our customers. We think that's a pretty good way to run a business. I'm Nick Fulton, and our business is USA Pawn.
Football season is here, and Four Roses Bourbon would like to raise a toast as we celebrate game day. Whether you're sipping on Four Roses Bourbon at the hunting camp, by the fire pit, on the patio, or outdoor kitchen, handcraft the moment with Four Roses Bourbon as they celebrate 130 years. Cheers to Four Roses Bourbon and football season. Be mellow, be responsible.
Honey, don't forget your mom's birthday present.
It's a whole new shopping experience at USA Pawn. We have an amazing selection of quality merchandise, from jewelry and home goods to tools and furniture. And with our prices, it's like everything's always on sale.
What'd you get your mother?
USA Pawn, 3 locations in the Jackson area, plus Vicksburg, Pearl, and Canton. Get mega more at your mega store, USA Pawn.
Game day will never be the same because Pearl River Resort is introducing all new ways to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. This is your ticket to Vegas-style sports betting, and it's game time. Place your bets on dozens of high-impact sports matchups anytime at the Timeout Lounge. And as always, play over 1,100 Vegas-style slots, 25 table games, and our 14-table poker room. Pearl River Resort is redefining what it means to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. We're not just fans. We're here to play.
In any industry, businesses come and go, but we've been here in the greater Jackson and Vicksburg areas for almost 25 years. We couldn't do that without a dedicated, friendly staff and without loyal customers, customers who trust us. It's really not that complicated. We take good care of our employees and we take great care of our customers. We think that's a pretty good way to run a business. I'm Nick Fulton, and our business is USA Pawn.
Football season is here, and Four Roses Bourbon would like to raise a toast as we celebrate game day. Whether you're sipping on Four Roses Bourbon at the hunting camp, by the fire pit, on the patio, or outdoor kitchen, handcraft the moment with Four Roses Bourbon as they celebrate 130 years. Cheers to Four Roses Bourbon and football season. Be mellow, be responsible.
Honey, don't forget your mom's birthday present.
It's a whole new shopping experience at USA Pawn. We have an amazing selection of quality merchandise, from jewelry and home goods to tools and furniture. And with our prices, it's like everything's always on sale.
What'd you get your mother?
USA Pawn, 3 locations in the Jackson area, plus Vicksburg, Pearl, and Canton. Get mega more at your mega store, USA Pawn.
Game day will never be the same because Pearl River Resort is introducing all new ways to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. This is your ticket to Vegas-style sports betting, and it's game time. Place your bets on dozens of high-impact sports matchups anytime at the Timeout Lounge. And as always, play over 1,100 Vegas-style slots, 25 table games, and our 14-table poker room. Pearl River Resort is redefining what it means to win with Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. We're not just fans. We're here to play.
In any industry, businesses come and go, but we've been here in the greater Jackson and Vicksburg areas for almost 25 years. We couldn't do that without a dedicated, friendly staff and without loyal customers, customers who trust us. It's really not that complicated. We take good care of our employees and we take great care of our customers. We think that's a pretty good way to run a business. I'm Nick Fulton, and our business is USA Pawn.
Football season is here, and Four Roses Bourbon would like to raise a toast as we All right, good morning. Welcome in. The Out of Bounds Show is brought to you by Welcome Home Beef. Welcome Home Beef out of Stark, Vegas, Mississippi. Premium beef. They do a great job. And you can find it in supermarkets throughout the state of Mississippi, whether it's hamburger meat, fillets, New York strips, ribeyes, you name it. Obviously, one of their monster accounts, Blake, is the Piggly Wiggly and Olive Branch.
Yeah. Vowels in Starkville.
Vowels. Yes.
Which used to be a Piggly Wiggly when I was in school.
Vowels in Starkville on Highway 12.
That's right.
You know where Highway 12 is?
I've been on it once or twice.
Okay. I try to avoid it, but if I want some Welcome Home Beef,
that's correct.
That's where I'm going. We're live in the Bank Plus studio, welcomehomebeef.com, welcomehomebeef.com. Live in the Bank Plus studio. We'll have John Cohen here in a minute or two. Looking forward to that. The MSU athletic director. Oh, is it the big extravaganza thing tonight? Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, so they're in Vicksburg. I don't know if John is. I know he'll be at the big thing tonight in Jackson. But that's right. The Jackson Coliseum.
Yes.
Yeah. So they'll have a crew there. They're taking they basically have the national championship trophy on tour.
Yeah, it's the title tour.
It's the title tour.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you been on a title tour since whatever day that
July
was?
1st,
June 30th?
baby, yeah.
July 1st.
Yeah, they won it on June 30th, so it started, yeah.
Yeah.
My tour started July 1st. It'll end when I die. It's a long one.
Okay.
We're in it for the long haul.
So it's a marathon, not a sprint for you.
Once a champion, always a champion. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. Should I ask Cohen if you should get a tattoo?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Ask him if we can get matching ones.
Okay.
Tell him I'm getting one, and I want to know if he'll go with me.
I don't see John as a tattoo guy, but
if he was going to get one,
this could be the exception,
right?
He played there, he coached there, he hired Lemonis.
Yeah, Well, as AD, he's walked the ladder, so to speak.
Right.
He went from lowly freshman player to now running the whole athletic department. If that's not the quote unquote American dream climb, right, from busboy to restaurant owner. Yeah, that's it right there, man.
That's true.
That's it. Cohen did it.
So we may ask him about that too. Dak Prescott another story. Prescott had to stop practicing yesterday because, Blake, he had a little soreness in his shoulder.
Yes. The official report is that he has a latissimus dorsi strain, which is in your back / shoulder.
All right. I'll have to text Larry Field with Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center at some point.
How serious is that?
Yeah. And we may do a hit at some point. But I'm sure hoping my guy, number 4.
America's guy.
Top 10, top 8 quarterback in the NFL, without a doubt. Could make an argument for 5 or 6.
What do you say, number 4 in your program, number 1 in your hearts?
That's right. Dak Prescott, we want him to be okay. I hope they'll allow him to sit for the NFL usually doesn't. I mean, your arm or leg has to fall off. Now, he's not trying to make the team. It is a little bit different. When you're a corner and you get rung up in a shoulder yesterday around the league, or a linebacker or whatever, and you're on that fringe bubble thing, unless your arm falls off, you play because you're trying to make that last cut and make a boatload of money because even the minimum is ridiculous. But Dak Prescott, they feel like he's okay. Will they rest him? I hope they will. He really doesn't need to play for, 6, 7, 8 days. They know what he can do. I mean, he can throw touchdowns and run around and do cool things. So we'll keep an eye on that. And then the Big 12 is not happy. They sent a cease and desist letter to the SEC. So we'll get into that later, too. Bill Blackwell will join us at 8 a.m. And Steve Palazzolo, Pro Football Focus, will join us at 8:30 this morning. And then BreezyOaksRanch.com will be in studio with some food in the 9 o'clock hour. We're rolling right now on the cameras. You can watch the show. Go to Facebook, search the Out of Bounds Show. Go to YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. We welcome in John Cohen, athletic director at MSU. He joins us on the Modelo guest line. You're listening to the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, presented by RPT and Rick's Pro Truck. #1 Jeep truck accessory stores in Mississippi, ricksprotruck.com. John, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, Bo. How you doing this morning?
Well, I'm doing well. Blake was talking about this title tour and the national championship trophy going around the state. And Blake is so excited about the baseball national championship that he's thinking about getting a tattoo to commemorate it. We wanted to know if that was something that you were debating too.
No, I'm not much of a tattoo guy, although I respect those who do. I will not be partaking in that, but we sure do take a lot of pride in the fact that, that national championship was accomplished by some really, really special folks.
No question. So have you, as a former player, former coach, now the AD, you hired Lemonis, will always be tied to that program. I mean, have you done a double take a couple of times looking at the trophy, whether it's on the road or wherever it's been in the athletic department, and just sat there and shake your head a little bit and smile and go, this is pretty amazing?
There are those moments. We've had some things framed, and when they come back to the office, Bo, Jana puts it in front of me, and I go, wow, that actually happened. Like, it's in a frame, newspapers and things of that nature. But I will say, as I talk to Chris and he lays out all the commitments that they have in the 22, 23, 24, 25 classes, I mean, the seriousness in his voice and his staff's voice, you would have thought we finished last in the SEC last year when you listen to the serious way they're going about putting these future classes together. They are full steam ahead and doing everything they can to win that next one. Winning a national championship puts you in an elite place, but if you can win two, now you kind of cement that there's a huge legacy there.
Mm-hmm. So is the big extravaganza thing tonight at the Jackson Coliseum, or do I have that date?
It sure is. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So let's walk through that real quick. For our listeners listening right now, we've got John Cohen, AD at MSU. They'll have the big summer extravaganza tonight at the Jackson Coliseum, Mississippi Coliseum, and John Cohen will be there. You want to go through the Leach, Lemonis, I guess?
Well, actually, believe it or not, and I think this is a great opportunity to say this, Coach Howland is sick and recovering right now. He will not be able to make that trip. Coach Howland's going to be fine, but he is ill. And we just had a women's basketball situation that needs to be addressed by Nikki. So, I think it's just going to be Mike Leach and myself, believe it or not, at this point. Coach Lemonis is on the road trying to recruit that next national championship class. So it'll just be me and Leach. How about that?
Okay, well, that's good. The Pirate and John Cohen. That's and then hold on, you got to add in the national championship trophy too. That's like three people.
The national championship trophy, and Jim Ellis will be there with us as well.
Okay, the voice of the Mississippi State Bulldogs for baseball was for all three sports for years and years. John Cohen joining us on the Modelo guest line. Is it fair that you're calling this the title tour?
You know what? I don't know what we're calling it, but we do know there's been great results. I know the trophy was in Philadelphia at the State Fair, and I was told thousands of people got their picture taken with the trophy, and that makes me so happy because our fans are a huge part of this, Bo. You know that. I mean, that's the advantage we have. In fact, I was looking at some designs that Coach Lemonis had sent me of the ring, and there was one design that had on the ring, it said the Dude Effect. And the reason we have a Dude Effect is because of all our great fans.
Yeah. So the national championship trophy for Mississippi State baseball will be in the house tonight at the I think I'm now being told at the Trademark. All right, so that's right by the Coliseum. Thank you to our listeners who were hammering me on the Mississippi Ag text line. And we're busy with John Cohen on the Out of Bounds show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Hey, can you you went through this several times over your career. Can you talk about what it's like to go deep into the postseason and then literally have to turn around the next day and recruit. Because I think Foxhall and Gautreaux have been on the road pretty much since right after that ceremony that y'all had with 20,000 people, because that's just kind of how baseball calendar recruiting works. Right, John?
Yeah, it's crazy. These guys have been on the road everywhere. Atlanta, Florida. I even heard one of our assistants was in Wyoming, believe it or not. They are all over the map watching recruits. And, the more success you have, the more choices you have. And certainly I think they have a lot of choices now. But, yeah, it won't stop. That's the one thing about the baseball class. It won't stop. And, I've said this before, and I don't want to compare student athletes to stock, but the only way I can describe it to somebody, especially somebody with a business background, is baseball recruiting is the stock market. I mean, a kid hits 2 home runs and their stock go up, and you say, oh, my goodness, I don't know if he's going to show up on campus now because he just hit 2 home runs in front of the scouting director. The kid was 89 to 92 2 weeks ago. Now another right-hand pitcher is throwing the ball 94, 96. And you felt really good about him showing up. Now you're saying, okay, he might be a first-rounder out of high school. Now he's not going to show up. What's our backup for this? And before you know it, you sign 18 to 22 guys. And, there's only 27 guys on aid, right? So the numbers have to equal out somehow. And Chris just does a magnificent job managing this roster, because a college baseball coach is a mini GM. And even though you don't have a minor league system, you can't just say to a fan base, Bo, you can't just say, well, these kids got drafted, so now we have a bad class.
Right.
You just can't do that at this level. So that means you're recruiting, evaluating all the time. And it doesn't even stop in the winter, because these kids are doing baseball-related things in December and January. And you'll have a scout call you and say, hey, listen, your guy just, again, threw a pitch 96 miles an hour. He's going to become a dude. Now you're going, okay, we really have to determine if he's going to show up or
not. John Cohen on the Out of Bounds show talking Mississippi State athletics. Let's talk Landon Sims. We had Scott Foxhall on last week. And, of course, he talked about his staff and what they did all year. And, we went through Bednar and so many other guys. But we asked him about Landon Sims getting a look at as a starter in fall camp. And he said, yeah, I mean, that is definitely a possibility. Walk us through that transition. Now, I mean, he got up into some, I think, 60 pitch counts and proved that he could go for a while, not just an inning throughout the year. But, talk about that transition if that happens, John.
Yeah, what they're really balancing, and again, this is just something the staff does a great job of, what's best for the student athlete and what's best for the team. And you have to balance those things. Every infielder wants to be a left side of the infield infielder because there's more value placed on that in the draft. Every pitcher who comes into this high level of amateur baseball, every pitcher wants to be a starting pitcher because that's viewed that, there's more stock put in that in terms of the draft. So every pitcher who comes to Mississippi State wants to be a starting pitcher, but you got to have a really good bullpen in order to be highly successful as we were a year ago. So moving Landon Sims, is that good for Landon Sims? Maybe it is from a professional, future professional side. But it's certainly a challenge because now you have a huge hole in the back end they have to deal with also. So you're just constantly measuring. And one of the reasons Landon Sims was so good late, Bo, and I think you mentioned this on the show several times, is because our coaching staff really protected him throughout probably the first 60, 70% of the season. 2-inning spot here, and then he didn't throw on the rest of the weekend. I mean, that happened with some regularity. So he was fresh at the end of the season. And so, again, you're balancing those two things, what's good for the team and what's best for the student athlete and their future in the sport.
John Cohen on the Out of Bounds show. He and Mike Leach will be in Jackson tonight at the Mississippi Trade Mart as part of the summer extravaganza. They'll have the Mississippi State Baseball National Championship trophy with them. They've been on somewhat of a title tour throughout the state of Mississippi, getting people excited about MSU and MSU athletics. He joins us on the Modelo guest line. Now that you've had a little bit of time to, again, exhale from Omaha, can you frame up what Will Bednar accomplished during that week and a half plus, going out there 3 times against the best of the best and competing the way he did?
Yeah, I'm going to look at this as a professional scout. You know that Will Bednar has great stuff. He's got great spin rate. When he's going really well, he can locate on both sides of the plate. You know his secondary stuff is good. Here's what you don't know. You really, it's so hard to tell when you're evaluating, what's inside that chest, how much heart he has, how much desire, how competitive he is. Boy, if you're watching the College World Series, all that's eliminated. I mean, you're going to put a high number. I think the highest number you can get on a grade in baseball is a 60. You're going to put a 60 on his makeup, his toughness, his competitiveness. And that wasn't missing because he's always been that type of competitor, but it was revealed in the College World Series. And I don't think we will ever forget that. I haven't seen anything like that since the days of Dubose, the Jeff Brantleys, where it was really commonplace to, pitch more innings, get deeper into games. So this was an old school type of event. And when we needed him the most, he gave us everything he had. And I think that's going to be the legacy of Will Bednar.
No question. John Cohen on the Out of Bounds show. He and Mike Leach will be at the Mississippi Trade Mart tonight for the summer extravaganza, and the national championship trophy will be there too for Hail State fans. Of course, football right around the corner, among other things. John joins us on the Modelo guest line. John, I want to switch gears. Not sure where you'll go with this. Hopefully I frame this up the right way. SEC expansion. What are your thoughts on adding 2 members if this comes to fruition?
Yeah, I think that anything that expands the brand of the Southeastern Conference is very much worth discussing. It is. I think it's critical that our league is always forward-thinking and looking toward the next thing. And in that way, I have so much confidence in Commissioner Sankey and the presidents who will inevitably make, future decisions based on expansion. I have so much faith in Dr. Keenum, who, by the way, serves on the College Football Playoff Board of Managers. And also, has a strong voice in that room. So I know that you can't look at our campus without realizing what a forward-thinking leader he is. And again, if all decisions at this level are made on the brand of the SEC and the future of the SEC, and I know the right decisions will be made.
All right. John Cohen on the Out of Bounds show. Let's switch gears one more time. Football played more freshmen than any other last year, than any other school in the country. It was an up and down year for Mississippi State football, but they played a lot better down the stretch and won some games, and, of course, had a chance to win at Georgia and so on. I think sometimes they were dressing out maybe 46 to 50 kids. With all those freshmen playing and knowing that it's Mike Leach's year 2, what are your expectations for your football program?
Well, I will say this: when you're putting in 2, and let's not kid ourselves, the 2 different sides of the football, the offense and defensive game plan, were so different than what our kids had experienced previously. We really needed some time to put in those packages on both sides of the ball, and I think we've had more time. Now, we're competing against teams that have been through an entire cycle of running their system for 4 or 5 years with the same group of student athletes. There's no doubt in my mind that we're going to show improvement. There's no doubt in my mind that we have tremendous leadership on this football team. And, on occasion I jog, albeit very slowly. I will jog around our facilities and I'll see a group of football players out in the distance. And our kids will be doing a lot of things on their own. And that is the root of success right there, is if you have leaders who are willing to go do things on their own. I always used to tell our baseball team here at Mississippi State, hey, we're going to work together for 20 hours a week. We're going to get everything done. But if that's all you do is what we're asking, if you just give us 20 hours a week, we're not going to win any championships. You have to do things outside of that 20 hours, whether it's taking care of your body, making sure you put the right things in your body. We need more of your time. And I know that we have an investment from some young leaders and some older leaders, to outside the parameters to get better every single day, because that's what it takes. And so I'm really proud of what we have going on in football, and I have very high expectations. Still a young football team, but I think we have some exciting times ahead.
We'll leave it there. And, John, I thought Mike Leach's opening statements at SEC Media Days were nothing short of epic. So I don't know if you got – I thought that was great, actually. We laughed about that and played it on the air several times. He's a character. A lot of fun to cover.
He has a unique way of phrasing things, Bo.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. John Cohen, MSU AD on the Modelo guest line. Thanks, John. We'll catch up soon. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Bo. Appreciate you.
National Championship Trophy for MSU baseball. John Cohen, Mike Leach at the Mississippi Trade Mart tonight for the summer extravaganza, as all three of the big programs are out, recruiting their people, right? I mean, they're out seeing people and shaking hands and doing all the things that you do so that people will buy tickets and make donations and take their kids and grandkids up to campus in Oxford, Starkville, and Hattiesburg, among others, Delta State and so on, J-State. But this is what it's all about. You make your summer tour. You do the barbecue stuff. You ask people how they're doing. You sit on the back porch of the Neshoba County Fair, and you sell your program and who you are and what you are, so that more and more people will go to Stark Vegas, Oxford, and Hattiesburg, among other towns. And Mississippi State, I think, is in Vicksburg this morning, or kind of lunchy morning, whatever, brunch. And they've got the, as Blake called it, the title tour is on for MSU.
Is what it is.
Yeah. Well, it's a big-time deal. It's extremely difficult to win that bad boy, as everybody in the state of Mississippi knows.
But it's not hard to get to Omaha.
I'm not going to go there. You're trying to, but I'm not. The Out of Bounds Show is brought to you by RPT and Rick's Pro Truck, #1 Jeep truck accessory stores in Mississippi. Show is also brought to you by Dr. Mike Manning and Dr. Cliff Adams, the men's clinic in Madison. It is an anti-aging clinic for men. The men's clinic in Madison, north end of Highland Colony. It's like a half a mile from where I am right now. You can go to their website, themanthing.com, to see everything that they offer to you. The men's clinic in Madison is an anti-aging clinic for men. Go to themanthing.com, find the number, and Dr. Mike Manning and Dr. Cliff Adams have done a great job with that clinic. The men's clinic in Madison, an anti-aging clinic for men, themanthing.com. Bill Blackwell, Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame, coming up next.